Of course not.
And it doesn't mean that I'm devoid of the right to call him a flaming hypocrite when it's called upon.
There you go. Let's go.
Do y'all have any idea how many commercials Charles Barkley does a year?
A lot.
He'll tell us 2. Have you seen Charles Barkley in 2 commercials? Are you kidding me? Who did nothing for years other than play basketball.
Damn.
Yet repeatedly announced his desires to one day run for the governor of Alabama.
Check him.
Is gonna sit here and tell me it's a bit too much.
Going off on him.
It's too much when I say it's too much. I'm making people very uncomfortable. And I don't give a shit.
There you go. Crash out on
You
him.
can sit there and talk about people not taking me seriously all you want to. We'll see.
Stephen A. Smith goes off on Charles Barkley. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
Now let's get to some headlines, or should I say advice from Charles Barkley in regards to me. Barkley, who's a friend and a brother, appeared on Outkick's Don't At Me podcast with Dan Dockish. Dan asked Barkley about the myriad of places I've been seen recently talking about sports, politics, and even acting on General Hospital and recently Law and Order. Here's what Barkley had to say. Take a look at this, please.
So I don't want to be on TV more. I want to be on TV less.
Makes sense.
I don't think that's the Stephen A. Smith method right now. I don't think that's his mentality, Charles.
Listen, that's not. As a matter of fact, I was in the studio last night, and I see he's going to be on Law and Order tonight.
Everywhere, like glass, man.
I mean, he's already on General Hospital. He's already on General Hospital. Now he's going to be on Law and Order tonight. And I was just laughing. I'm like, yo, man, you're starting to be too much right now. Like, you're going to be on CNN. You're going to be on Fox and Friends. Now you're on General Hospital. Now you're on Law and Order. I'm like, yo, man, knock it off. Stop being on every TV show. Because at some point, people are going to regret. They're going to get sick of you. And you're going to be like, yeah, I probably did too much. But once you do too much, it's too late. And then people don't take you serious. And I think he's got to be careful in that aspect.
Well, it depends on, people may not be taking him serious. Now, if he's trying to jump in the political realm, I get it. Stephen A. Smith, 2028 for president. I don't think that's really going to fly over with the American people. I don't think he'll get a lot of votes, but you never know. If you're popular, like the current president, you got an opportunity to possibly, become a president. But as far as what he's doing with Law and Order and the soap operas, content is king. He's doing what he has to do. He's a main player in sports entertainment, and he's trying to transition over to entertainment as a whole. So I get the Stephen A. Smith method. You're on First Take, ESPN, majority of the times. Then you have your own podcast. Then you contribute to CNN, Fox, and other stations and other networks. And then you're doing your acting thing. So this is a perfect opportunity for Stephen A. Smith to maximize his value right now. He got $100 million from ESPN, making other types of money, sponsorships, brand deals on his pod and other different things. So I get what he's trying to do, but I hear what Charles Barkley is saying. People will get tired of you, maybe in music if you oversaturate the market and you don't switch up your style. But in content, acting, entertainment, sports, I don't think people will get tired of you. I think it helps that you're getting out there more, make yourself more visible.
First order of business.
He about to go off on him.
As a forewarning. Anything, I shouldn't say a forewarning, just a heads up. Anything that I say that is critical of Charles Barkley is all in fun.
Nah, don't go easy on him.
That is my friend. That is my brother.
We don't care about that.
I love him dearly.
Oh, that's great.
I always have. I always will.
But
he is as real and as authentic as it gets.
But go off,
And by the way, weeks ago when he was critical of me, as it pertained to my response to LeBron James, when LeBron James and I, had our little spiel, Charles Barkley and I spoke on the phone. And what he said publicly is exactly what he said privately.
That's great.
That's my guy.
That's cool. You're trying to soften up everything before you really go off. I get it. One thing with Stephen A. Smith, he may give you a compliment. He may say one thing, but it's about to be a whole different type of thing. I know him and Charles Barkley, they're like brothers. They're cool. If there's a situation going on with Stephen A., Charles will not only say it publicly, but he's going to say the same words to him privately. So that's a good relationship to have with friends, being able to call you out on the BS. But if you're Stephen A. Smith, we don't need to hear all this. We know that y'all are cool. You know what I mean? Let them know what it is. Let them know how you feel about being everywhere and people being tired of you. I get it. You want to kind of soften whatever's going on before you really go off. But let's be real. You're taking it personal by what Charles Barkley said to you.
But that doesn't mean I always agree with him.
Of course not.
And it doesn't mean that I'm devoid of the right to call him a flaming hypocrite when it's called upon.
There you go. Let's go.
Do y'all have any idea how many commercials Charles Barkley does a year?
A lot.
He'll tell us 2. Have you seen Charles Barkley in 2 commercials? Are you kidding me? Oh, by the way, the cat that you work with at least twice a week during the NBA season is Shaquille O'Neal. Can we count the amount of endorsements he has? How often he's seen everywhere? What new product he's pitching? Did you say that about him?
Yeah, that's the thing. Charles Barkley, a lot of commercials running right now, and he's doing a lot of guest appearances on podcasts and radio stations. So similar to what Stephen A. Smith is doing, maybe not to that magnitude. Stephen A. Smith is hot right now. So what Charles is saying, like, yeah, I do my little commercials. I may do some radio drops here and there, some podcast drops. But for the most part, I'm still kind of behind the scenes. But with Stephen A. Smith, you know, he's on television shows, Law and Order, soap operas, trying to get into the political realm. So I think his level of visibility is much more impactful than Charles Barkley. I think that's where he's trying to say, you know, people are going to get tired of you because you're getting all these major looks. But if you're Stephen A. Smith, man, hey, keep running up that money, running up that bag, getting a lot of money, and you're being more visible. So I ain't mad at Stephen A. Smith for really, you know, capitalizing off these opportunities.
No, you didn't. But when it comes to me, I need to be careful. Oh, by the way, Dan Dockich, slickly brings up, me with politics and all of this other stuff. Wasn't it Charles Barkley who made news for years talking about his aspiration to run for the governor of Alabama?
He did. Check him.
Because
him.
That's where he's from before starring at Auburn and all of this other stuff.
Crash out.
Wasn't that him?
It was.
I mean, it just amazes me how people can say some of the things that they say sometimes. It absolutely positively blows me away.
It really does, man.
Because I'm not the one with commercials everywhere. I'm working. Fox and Friends know that involves early mornings. That's a rare appearance. That almost never happens. That's not accurate. ESPN is the worldwide leader. They have a multitude of outlets. Plus, they put me on their .com sites. Outside of that, you see me occasionally on Sean Hannity, occasionally. You see me pretty much weekly on Chris Cuomo's show on News Nation. He's a friend, and he asked me to come on, and I come on. Where else have I been seen?
Yeah, I get it. You want to explain yourself, but at the same time, whatever you're doing is working. Think about all the money you're getting. Think about all the deals and sponsorships you're getting. And it's just a matter of time until you get more commercials. But at the same time, man, I get it. You want to explain yourself. You want to know what you're doing and what you're not doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep running up that money. It's working for you. I know Charles Barkley, he has moments where he's a hypocrite, and these are one of the hypocritical moments of Charles Barkley. Are you questioning Shaq like that? Are you questioning yourself? You're being real visible, especially lately. Looks like he's on a commercial campaign, Subway, and all types of stuff. So, hey, it is what it is, man. I ain't mad at Stephen A. Smith. Keep getting that money. Shut down Charles Barkley.
Can we really get to the heart of the matter? And this isn't directed at Charles Barkley. This is directed at all the folks out there. I'm making people very uncomfortable. And I don't give a shit.
There you go. Crash out on
You can sit there and talk about people not taking me seriously all you want to. We'll see.
2028?
Because I'm a serious brother. That doesn't mean I don't know how to laugh and smile and have fun, but I know who the hell I am. We're talking about me on General Hospital. Why now? I've been on General Hospital for 7 years. It's a soap opera. That's not a sports show. It's a different audience.
But now you're popping now. Before you were just kind of up and coming in sports media, had more of a mainstream look just off sports. But now people are kind of taking you serious outside of sports. So whatever you were doing before, you really got going in media. You got a lot of attention, a lot of hype right now. So a lot of the same stuff you're doing now years ago, people didn't really care about. They weren't checking for you. So the time is now for Stephen A. Smith. He's starting to get noticed by the masses.
I went on Law and Order. That's the first time I've been on primetime television for anything outside of working for ESPN. That's Law and Order. That's not sports. So if you're watching sports, chances are you're not watching those other things. You might not be watching soaps. You might not be watching Law and Order. So one would argue I'm reaching a different audience, and I'm expanding and showing that I'm somewhat of a renaissance man, that I have the versatility to do the things that I'm doing.
And that's one of the reasons why he got that huge contract. ESPN and Disney, they're not only paying Stephen A. Smith $100 million just for sports. Yeah, that's the main thing for it. But everything he's doing outside of the network, building up his profile, more viewers and more people are going to tune in on the programming that he's on. So if he's on First Take, NBA Countdown, he may have said something on his podcast. People may check in to see if he's going to bring it up on First Take and Countdown or any other show on Disney and ESPN. So what he's doing is perfect. The bosses love it. Continue to build up your cachet, build up your presence, get a bigger fan base, and then bring them on over to ESPN and Disney. It's the perfect thing for both parties.
People saw me acting. They said, hey, he does a good job.
Decent.
And I'm supposed to scale that back because of my conspicuous presence?
Nah, run it up.
Last time I checked, that's what we're in this business for. And the very people laughing and dismissing it, are you trying to tell me you would turn down those opportunities if it came your way? Why are you in this business?
Depends on the type of opportunity, you know.
Yes, it's easy for Charles Barkley to sit up there and say 2 commercials a year, even though that's a lie, because he's definitely doing more than 2.
It's the same one running over, same company.
But when you're making the money that you're making, that you have been making for years, you could afford to turn down those opportunities. Don't bring up my contract now. That was just signed last month.
Yeah, Stephen A. like, don't worry about my money. Charles, he been making those hundreds of millions of dollars for many years now, and he re-upped recently with the TNT thing. So I see what Charles Barkley's doing. He has a lot of money. He can turn down these opportunities, but this is probably the first time Stephen A. Smith has seen hundreds of millions of dollars in his career. Maybe he came close to over a career making that type of money, but to get it in a 5-year contract, he never seen money like that. So, of course, he's in his money phase right now. He's running it up, taking a lot of opportunities, probably not turning down too many opportunities as far as brand deals and sponsorships and guest appearances. He's trying to build up his cachet. He's trying to build up his fan base, and it's working. He's getting a lot of money right now.
You've been making that money for years.
Yep, facts.
So when we look at it from that standpoint, what's that about? And oh, by the way, when you see me at other places, whether it be podcasts or other shows, I don't volunteer to go talk to these people. Y'all call and ask. Yet you'll call and ask and then say, I want to be seen, when you're the one to call and ask me to be seen.
There you go. Crash out on them, man. Got to do this.
Could it be because I speak with substance? Did I have something to say that will draw viewers and listeners to your respective shows? Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing in this business?
That's true.
So Charles Barkley, you continue to do the great job that you've been doing for TNT, and next year it'll start at ESPN. And let Shaq market the hell out of himself the way that he does, significantly better than almost anybody on this planet. And let me do what I do. I have no desire to run for office. I have no desire to be a politician. I love talking about politics. I love talking about giving social commentary or social issues, and I love talking about sports. And if that somehow, some way translates into me being in the mix and people talking to me about a potential political position, so be it.
Yeah, if you're Stephen A. Smith, this could all be a build-up for him being a president in 2028, or at least being considered a possibility. He's been talking about it. Trump even brought him up like, hey, he has the entertainment value. That's one of the main things to be a president. You got to be able to entertain the people. People want to be able to tune into these speeches. So he has that standpoint. He has the whole entertainment acting type thing. He can tap into being a political figure. I don't know how his political debates will go, but if he can do a little bit of what he does in sports in the political political realm as far as going back and forth. He could possibly do something in politics. I don't know if it'll transfer over to him being a president, but I see that's the realm that he's trying to get into. It all starts off with the conversations on his podcast, and it's going to lead to him trying to, get a seat in the office. So don't be surprised if Stephen A. Smith is the president in 2028.
It's not where my interest lies, but I don't rule it out because I believe I could win.
Stephen A. 2028.
If anybody, especially my friend and my brother, who did nothing for years other than play basketball, yet repeatedly announced his desires to one day run for the governor of Alabama,
check him,
is going to sit here and tell me it's a bit too much.
Going off on him.
It's too much when I say it's too much.
There you go. That's what it is, man. Stephen A. Smith, you had to check Charles Barkley. Can't allow him to be a hypocrite. Yeah, you want to be all over TV, movies, sports. Do what you do, Stephen A. Smith. Is working. Got $100+ million from Disney, running up that money. Charles been making that type of money for years, so Stephen A. is just starting to get that type of money. So, of course, if he has the opportunity to be on Law & Order, soap operas, sports, podcasts, all that stuff, sponsorships, he's going to do that. He's trying to run a production company and possibly build up enough money to be able to run a campaign and become a president one day. You just never know with Stephen A. Smith. The sky's the limit for Stephen A. Charles Barkley, stop hating.